أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه الأخيار أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we continue our studies on مثلث قطرب, and we are using the one composed by Al-Maghribi. As we've already taken the muqaddimah, taken the introduction, inshallah, we get into the al-muthallathat, the ternary. As I've said, it's called in English, the ternary. So if it says al-muthallathat, since if the muthallath is the ternary, if he makes it plural, al-muthallathat, still we can call it the ternary. If you want the ternaries, any of them is fine. Bimana anything with three sides. Okay. It says from bait number 15, inshallah, and we will do well to take about 10 abiyat, or up, let's say up to bait number 24. So from 15 to 24, inshallah. He says, Al-Ghamru ma'un ghazura. I think let me just take a read through. Let me read all to the 24, and then we start going through the explanations, inshallah. He says, Al-Ghamru ma'un ghazura, wal-Ghimru hiqdun sutira, wal-Ghumru dhu jahlin sara fihi walam yujarribi, tahiyyatul mar'i salam, wasmul hijarati silam, wal-Irqu fil kafi sulam, rawawhu fi lafzin nabi. أما الحديث فالكلام والجرح في المرء الكلام والموضع الصلب الكلام لليبس والتصلب الحرة الحجارة والحرة الحرارة والحرة المختارة من محصنات العرب الحلم ثقب في الأديم. Here he says الحلم ثقب أو الحلم ثقب في الأديم والحلم من خلق الكريم والحلم في النوم العميم بالصدق أو بالكذب. Okay, so depending on the tonation you want to recite it with, but these are the abiyat. It says, Al-Ghamru ma'un ghazura. That is Al-Ghamru is a water that is abound, that is abundant. So bimana Al-Ghamru ma'un kathir. When we say ghazura, it has become plenty, overflow of water. So Al-Ghamru itself means overflow. So he defines it by saying ma'un ghazura. So this muthallath, it is like every word and its definition, its dictionary definition. It says al-ghamru ma'un ghazura. Ghamru is a water that is abound, that is plenty. Bimana al-ghamru means overflow. And then he comes to kasra. Wal-ghimru. So al-ghimru hikdun is a grudge or enmity, sutira, that has been hidden or covered. So you have enmity against somebody, you have a grudge against somebody. It is called gimru. And mostly when people hate each other, or when somebody has some grudge against somebody, you find the person trying to hide it, or mostly the person keeps it in him and try to scheme behind to hurt the other person. So it says hikdun sutira. It is a grudge that has been covered or hidden. That is what we call idmarul adawa. Idmarul adawa. Hiding of enmity. Okay. So he says, and they've also said that al-ghimru bil kasra can also mean atash. That is test. But then per the book, I wouldn't want us to be leaving the force of the book too much. Per the book, he says al-ghimru hikdun sutira. When the gain takes kasra, it means a hatred that is hidden. He says, wal gumru, and gumru bid dhamma, dhu jahlin sara fihi, walam yujarribi. Somebody who ignorant has run through him so much that he hasn't tried anything. A fresh person, a very ignorant person. The person is blind completely. You call such a person gumru. As وَالْغُمْرُ ذُو جَهْلٍ سَرَى فِيهِ. Somebody with so much ignorance, and this ignorance has run through him. وَلَمْ يُجَرِّبِ, and he hasn't tried anything. Bimana, if it is in a field of knowledge, we say it's gumru, that he's very ignorant about knowledge and he has never tested knowledge. Whenever field we say you are gumru in it, if you say you are gumru in a particular field, bimana, you are very ignorant about the field, you've not tried anything about the field. Okay. In other shuruh, they've brought a bait to give us a clearer sight of this word. Not a bait, a qasida actually, by Abu Hayyan التوحيدي. He says, يظن الغمر أن الكتب تهدي أخا فهم لإدراك العلوم وما يدري الجهول بأن فيها غوامض حيرت عقل الفهيم وما يدري الجهول بأن فيها غوامض حيرت عقل الفهيم إذا رمت العلوم بغير شيخ ضللت عن الصراط المستقيم وتلتبس الأمور عليك حتى تكون أضل من توما الحكيم. Some also says حتى تصير أو حتى تصير أضل من توما الحكيم. So either حتى تكون أو حتى تصير. Both have the same meaning. It says يظن الغمر, the very ignorant person thinks أن الكتب تهدي, that books alone guides. أخا, it can guide a person. أخا هنا بمعنى شخصا. It can guide a person to what? فهم لإدراك العلوم. It can guide you in understanding and getting complete grasp of knowledge. It can help you to understand a lot of things or everything. Books alone. وَمَا يَدْرِي الْجَهُولُ. You see, he brought a synonym of it, jahul. What is the mubalagha of jahil? To put it as a synonym to gumru. That is mutaradif or muradif to gumru. Other word for gumru, jahul, extensively ignorant. It says, وَمَا يَدْرِي الْجَهُولُ بِأَنَّ فِيهَا. The ignorant, severely ignorant person does not know that in these books there are غوامض. غوامض is a plural of ghamid. When something is covered, is cloudy, it's not so clear, it's not so understandable, said the thing is ghamid. Okay, so it says that a severely ignorant person does not know that in the books there are things that are not so clear. حيرت, these things, حيرت عقل الفهيم, they have confused the brain of the one who understands very well. Al-Fahim is somebody who understands very well. But there in the books, if you go through it yourself, there are things that will confuse you a lot. It says, إِذَا رُمْتَ الْعُلُومَ بِغَيْرِ شَيْخٍ. If you should desire knowledge or you should chase after knowledge, بِغَيْرِ شَيْخٍ, without a scholar to guide you, ضَلَلْتَ عَنِ الصَّرَاطِ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ, you get lost from the right path. وتلتبس الأمور عليك, and things will become so cloudy for you. Things will mix up for you. حتى تكون أضل من توما الحكيم. You will become so lost even more than توما الحكيم. And توما الحكيم is actually a personality who is used in Proverbs. When they say أنت أضل من توما الحكيم, the craziest insult ever, you are more lost than توما الحكيم. He is this guy that his father was a doctor. The father died and left him a lot of books, medicine books and all that. He went reading the books and he read, instead of Al-Habbatu Sawda, Shifa'un min kulli da. The black seed is a medicine for every ailment, for every sickness. Instead of Al-Habbatu, the print he had a problem with the nukta under the ba. So it looked like two dots. So he read it Al-Hayyatu Sawda, and Al-Hayya is snake. So Al-Hayyatu Sawda, the black snake, Shifa'un min kulli da, is a medicine for every sickness. So he went searching for black snake. And some of the stories have it that he got bitten by a black snake and he died. Some also say that he caused a lot of people to die because he went healing people with the black snake. and it caused a lot of people to die. Okay, so when they say adallu min Tuma al-Hakim, it's a proverb to mean that you are so lost than Tuma al-Hakim, that was his name. He went reading books alone to become a doctor, and the dot, just a dot, misguided him to causing the life of a lot of people. Okay, so this is just for us to get the غمر very well. يظن الغمر أن الكتب تهدى أخا فهم لإدراك العلوم وما يدري الجهول بأن فيها غوامض حيرت عقل الفهيم إذا رمت العلوم بغير شيخ ضللت عن الصراط المستقيم وتلتبس الأمور عليك حتى تكون أضل من توما الحكيم حتى تكون أضل من توما الحكيم. Okay, so we come to, he says Tahiyyatul mar'i as-salam. So the first one we took is Gain Mim Ra, Gamru, Gimru, Gumru. Now we are coming to take another one. He says Tahiyyatul mar'i, the greeting of a person is called as-salam. We say as-salam. That is a greeting. When somebody says as-salam or as-salamu alayk, it's a greeting. Okay. And salam is supposed to be the verbal noun for sallama. But we know that the verbal noun is actually sallama taslim. And so sallama, as-salam is actually called al-ismul masdari or ismul masdari, which is actually like, it's not a verbal noun are supposed to be from verbs, but this verbal noun here is actually not from verb. This masdar is not from the verb. So it's called ismul masdar, ismul masdari or ismul masdar. He says, so if some as-salam means greeting, wasmul hijarati as-silam. When we give the sin kasra, it becomes a name for a stone. And as-silam is actually plural of salima. Sin, lam, mim, ta marbuta, salima. Okay. And then the salima, it can mean the stone or a woman who has soft body parts. Salima is also given like that. But then per the book, Ismul Hijara is a name for a stone. As-Silam is a name for a stone. And he says, وَالْعِرْقُ فِي الْكَفِّ السُّلَامِ. Al-'irqu is veins or bones. When you say irqu shay, ay aslu. When you say the irq of something, we mean the root of it. So it can be the vein or the bones. Al-'irqu fil kaffi, the palm, the bones in the palm or the hand, the bones, the skeleton in there, or the veins that run through in there. He said it's called as-sulam. Mainly the skeletal bones in the hand is what is called as-sulam. But again, scholars have said that as-sulam that he used here is actually not the word, because he has continued and said rawawhu fi lafz nabi. They narrated it from the words of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And what came in the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is what he said: kullu sulama min an-nasi alayhi sadaqatun kulla yawmin tatla'u fihi shams. Every joint, skeletal joint of a person, that of the hand, alayhi sadaqah, there is a charity that a person must give every day that the sun appears, that the sun rises. The Prophet means to tell us that the skeletal joints or the bones of your hand, there is a sadaqah that you should give on it. That is, you must do charity by one way or the other. So the word that came in the hadith, as he has said here, rawahum fi lafz nabi, is sulama, and that is the actual word. And he used as sulam here, sulam, without the ma. You get it? So that is the bayan there. But then it's not wrong. In Loga, we barely say something is wrong until it is really wrong. Okay. It says, وَالْعِرْقُ فِي الْكَفِّ السُّلَامِ. The skeletal bones of the hand is called as-sulam. But the real name you should know as it is in the hadith is sulama. كُلُّ سُلَامَ مِنَ النَّاسِ عَلَيْهِ صَدَقَةٌ كُلَّ يَوْمٍ تَطْلَعُ فِيهِ الشَّمْسِ. Okay. Then he says, أَمَّا الْحَدِيثُ فَالْكَلَامِ. As for speech, somebody saying something, speech, it is called al-kalam. وَالْجُرْهُ فِي الْمَرْءِ الْكِلَامِ. Al-jurhu is injury or something cutting you. When somebody gets an injury, that is called kilam. Kilam. Something cuts your hand. It's called kilam. So when you are pronouncing it and you mistaking the sound, you've entered another word. That is what Muthallath actually, one of the goals of Muthallath, to guide us to pronounce it well. And he says, وَالْمَوْضِعُ الصُّلْبِ الْكُلَامِ, and a very rigid place. When we say as-sulb, we mean something that is hard or rigid or very firm. Said وَالْمَوْضِعُ أي وَالْمَكَانِ الصُّلْبِ, a place that is rigid is called what? Al-kulam. لِلْيُبْسِ, due to its rigidness, وَالتَّصَلُّبِ, and lack of flexibility, and its inflexibility. When we say something has tasallub, bimana, the thing is inflexible, it is stubborn. Okay, some of the text also has وَالْمَوْضِعُ الصُّلْبِ الْكُلَامِ ذُو الْيُبْسِ وَالتَّصَلُّبِ. Some has it like that instead of لِلْيُبْسِ. Some have ذُو الْيُبْسِ وَالتَّصَلُّبِ. And yubs bimana yubusa, the rigidity or rigidness of something. He says al-harratu al-hijara. The word harratu, refers to a stone, and basically refers to a volcanic area. You know, a place where there is volcano, when the lava, the fire that comes out of the volcano, when it comes out, it turns into a black stone. Now this area has this black stone. This area is what is called harratun. It says al-harratu al-hijara, ay ardun dhatu hijara, ardun dhatu hijara, something like that. A land with stones, but basically black stones. So we can say a volcanic area called harra. And also it is said that this harra can be used for harara, heat or temperature. It says wal hirratu, when you make it kasra, al hirratu al harara. Hirratu refers to heat, but then specifically harrul atashi, the heat of thirst. When you are very thirsty, you need water to drink, that kind of pressure or heat you are in, that is what is called al-hirratu. Al-hirratu. So it says al-hirratu al-harara. Hirra is heat, temperature. It shows heat. Okay. Wal-hurratu al-mukhtara. When we say hurra, the opposite of ama, slave. When the person is not a slave, amatun. When the person is not an ama, a slave, that is, the person is hurra. So it says, wal hurratu al mukhtara, a chosen min muhsanatul arabi, a chosen woman among the good women of Arab. That is a woman, basically a woman who is free, not a slave. Hurra, I hear hurratun, she is free. She's a free woman, not a slave. And he says, al halmu thuqbun fil adini. So here when he says al halmu thuqbun, some have said that, some have read it thaqbun. Some have also said that it is thuqbun. Okay, so al-halmu, thuqbun is a hole, a perforated hole, fil adimi, in a tanned skin. Tanned skin, T-A-N-N-E-D. You know, when you take the skin of the animal, you put it under the sun, it will become very hot. The sun will heat it until it becomes leather. That is what we call tanning, heating the skin to become like leather. You can use it for prayers and a lot of stuff. That is what we call tanning. It's a tanned skin, or basically a leather. So al-halmu is a perforation or a hole in the leather. Wal-hilmu, hilm is forbearance. There is this hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said to one of the Sahaba, Inna fika la khaslatayn yuhibbuhum Allah. You have two characters in you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves it so much. He says, Al-ana'u, al-hilmu, wal-ana'u, I think. Al-hilmu, wal-ana'u. That is forbearance and so much patience. You have forbearance. When you say al-hilmu, bimana, as-sabru sabrun qawiyyun jiddan. a very strong patience. When something happens, you can really be patient. That's what we call al-hilm, forbearance. It says, min khuluqil kareem. Al-hilmu min khuluqil kareem is part of the characteristics of a noble person. It says, wal hulmu fi nawmil amim. And hulm is what we see in our dreams. Basically, hulm is a dream. Wal hulmu fi nawmil amim. A dream when somebody sleeps and dreams. Hulm can also be used to refer to the dream of a matured person. You dream that you are doing some matured stuff and you wake up and find yourself wet and all that. Call it hulm also. So when somebody is of age, we say haluma. The person has dreamt. Haluma. He has dreamt. But what we mean is that he has had a dream of matured people. It's al-halmu thaqbun fil adimi. Halm with alif on the ha is a perforation in the leather, in a leather skin. Wal hilmu, and hilm is forbearance, min khulqil kareem, part of the characteristics of a noble person. Wal hulmu fi nawmil amim, and hulm is that which we see in a deep sleep or in our normal sleep. Bis sidqi aw bil kadhibi, whether what we see in the dream is fake or is reality, it's all considered as hulm. Okay, so this is where we will end this particular session. Inshallah, we will do our best to be taking them like that. I think these are 10 abiyat from 15 to 24. I think we've just taken 10. So we will try and be taking them in that order, 10 and in the order like that till we finish. I think we have about 90 abiyat, 94 abiyat. So we will do it like that gradually till we finish. May Allah grant us beneficial understanding. Any word, anything that I said that is unclear, anything that I say that you need it typed or something, you let me know. Inshallah, I'll make sure I provide it for you. Inshallah. In the end, we all want to get everything very clear. Nothing should go free, inshallah. Okay, so let me read it again. It says, الغمر ماء غزر والغمر حقد سطر والغمر ذو جهل سرى فيه ولم يجرب تهية المرء السلام واسم الحجارة السلام والعرق في الكف السلام رووه في اللفظ النبي. أما الحديث فالكلام والجرح في المرء الكلام والموضع الصلب الكلام لليبس والتصلب الحرة الحجارة والحرة الحرارة والحرة المختارة من محصنات العرب الحلم ثقب في الأديم والحلم من خلق الكريم والحلم في النوم العميم بالصدق أو بالكذب. This brings us to the end. For the tone and recitation, everybody has their style. I pray this is fine. May Allah grant us beneficial knowledge. Allahumma allimna ma yanfa'una wanfa'na bima allamtana wa zidna ilman ya rabbal alamin. Amin. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum.